what about market technicals? Let's discuss that with Ashwini Gujral and Mitesh Thakkar. Gentlemen, good morning. Thank you for joining us. Ashwini, whichever way I cut and dissect, at least I cannot sugarcoat the environment.
Good morning, Nikunj. At 5700, you will hear about crude. Right now, that hasn't come up as a reason because of the market level. So, broadly, Nifty broke below 5950, and this opens downside towards 5800. Investors and traders must get defensive. I think the biggest buying opportunity in this bull market is ahead. You need to be patient and, try to identify stocks in private banks, oils, and even tech stocks to take advantage. It's very easy to become bearish at 5900, become bullish at 6100. And that is a fool's game. I think the next 150 points on the downside will give you more opportunities. Till then, there is no opportunity. If you went short yesterday afternoon, today in the morning, you'll have the market move against you. So it's extremely choppy to play the short side. So if you have the patience and if you want to make money, if you just don't want to spend your time making nothing, I think the way to go is still on the long side, but probably closer to 5800.
Mitesh, hi, morning. What is the sense that you're getting about the market? Do you think today is a day of further downside?
See, broadly we are kind of for the last couple of days managing to take support around or hang around the levels of 5950, 5930. We've been maintaining a negative bias, and I think eventually the market will slide to December lows of 5840, 5830. Possibility of 5700 is also what I'm looking at very strongly, because we've had some kind of breakdown on the momentum indicators. Having said that, I think I would prefer a definitive closing below 5930. I mean, it's been a tentative 20 point, 25 point kind of fall in the index, which is difficult to gauge, whether it's kind of will gain momentum or possibly it will just be managed, it will give some kind of reversal signals on the intraday charts. But I think what is important in the meanwhile in this entire thing is the individual stocks, and that is where the action is. You've seen a lot of stocks go through some kind of bearish breakdowns, and strong moves have happened over there. So maybe it remains the market, which is possibly kind of the index management is still going on nicely, but I think the individual stocks are going through a bigger correction, and I think we will therefore eventually that will lead to breakdown in the index, and in the next few weeks we should head lower.
Ashwini, as a habit on a daily basis from last 3 months, we always discuss stocks which hit a new 52-week high, but none of the Nifty 50 stocks are at a 52-week high. In fact, Siemens yesterday touched a new 52-week low.
Well, that shows you the state of the infrastructure sector. And, that's the funny part, that a lot of stocks have gone below their 200-day moving averages. Stocks on the index are making new lows. So, the government may be raising a lot of money, but that puts significant pressure on the market. Most PSU banks are down 25% from their highs. Again, the story is about the capex cycle picking up, etc. Siemens have always been a very overvalued stock, not performing, not coming out with good results. It's close to now a support around 600, but it seems like it will go lower. 450, 500 is possible on Siemens. The view is that if you are long here, I think for the moment you should be out.
Mitesh, anything which you would like to point out in terms of pockets of strength? Because honestly, I don't have too many 52-week highs which I can discuss with you.
I think, I would agree with that. In fact, we could possibly look at pockets of weaknesses in the sense that, what could possibly pull the market down. Though my belief is that IT in this entire thing might hold out better than the rest of the pack. I think Infosys, possibly even Wipro, I think, these stocks might do better than the rest of the pack. But I think it's the Bank Nifty which is slightly more corrective. We've seen a lot of PSU banks sparing a PNB, possibly only because of good numbers, go through correction, and stocks like HDFC Bank and ICICI Bank also correcting. I think Axis has been holding out nicely in the last few days, but overall it's the Bank Nifty which has given a minor breakdown by starting to trade and close below levels of 12,500. I think that's where a lot of pressure would come from.
Ashwini, let's get going on your trading calls on that note.
Well, Nifty for the day needs to stay above 5947. Resistance comes in at 5968 and 5998. Support at 5917 and 5896. Bank Nifty needs to stay above 12,376 and CNX IT above 6791. BTST from yesterday, Financial Technologies was a sell with a stop about 1090, target of 1025. Titan was a sell with a stop about 271, target of 254. HDFC was a buy with a stop about 810, target of 842. Fresh calls, Apollo Hospitals is a buy with a stop about 820, target of 900. Castrol is a buy with a stop about 308, target of 330. Sun TV is a sell with a stop about 472, target of 454. JSW Steel is a sell with a stop about 845, target of 805. HPCL is a sell with a stop about 325, target of 305. Reliance Power is a sell with a stop about 90, target of 78.
Technical check on strides. Mitesh, what's the view forward for strides?
See, I think, one, it met the 200-day average yesterday. Also is the fact that 850 was earlier kind of consolidation. So maybe in the short term the decline might be over. And I think yesterday's intraday low, I'm not saying from a closing point it can't decline by about 50-60 rupees again, but I think around 865 to about 850 is a strong support area. But the structures got damaged, and this is definitely one stock which will possibly go through a bigger correction. But the first leg, I think the big part of damage already seems to be over. Around 865, 850, you might see a temporary low being formed, and the stock might, just try to bounce back. But this now becomes a stock which should be sold on rallies to about levels of 1000. And I think eventually the stock will go below 850 and then look at levels of around 775, 780 on the downside.
Ashwini, last 2 days we've been talking about the strength for tire stocks. We saw what Apollo Tyres did, and you've also mentioned about your favor towards MRF as a counter. Excellent numbers coming in post-market hours. What's the kind of upside that you see on the charts?
On MRF?
Yes.
Well, MRF had a huge rally right from about 9,700 up to 13,500. It hasn't really corrected, just about $400. So if numbers also have been great, then, we should expect rallies towards 14,000. But given the, state of the market, the response may be less than what is expected. But clearly it's a very strong stock, probably the strongest tire stock. And, if we take out yesterday's high, which is about 13,430 on open, then it becomes an even stronger buy.
Ashwini, your synopsis on how trade has been right now and your calls?
Well, we still keep going down, and you can say a broad, kind of trigger as of right now is about 59.70. As long as we remain below 59.70, we keep heading down. There are, stocks on both sides. So maybe Godrej Industries is a buy with a stop of 305, target of 321. MRF is a buy with a stop about 13,380, target of 13,500. These are all futures prices. Jubilant Food is a sell with a stop about 1170, target of 1120. Aurobindo Pharma is a sell with a stop about 187, target of 175. And Cipla is a sell with a stop about 400, target of 375.